Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. Today we are diving back into Mymind, an application I've talked about several times before, and if we go back around a year or so, I actually used Mymind as my second brain application. And if you're new to the channel, I've been testing out different applications, trying to use them as my daily driver, note-taking app and to-do list app to just figure out a system that works and a system that I won't have to change and jump into a new application, figuring out what I need, what I don't need, and just figuring out my system overall. And that all happened when my system broke down, my productivity system broke down totally earlier this year because there was no mobile application in my note-taking app, which I didn't know that I needed. Long story short. But now I'm currently testing out Mymind, and my productivity journey after my system fell apart has been test out a lot of different applications, go back to Mymind because it felt better than a lot of them. Um, there are a couple of things that I need to mention about Mymind. If I were to choose Mymind as my go-to note-taking app, I would need another note-taking app as well, because I cannot use this as a project management tool. I can use this as a mood boarding tool, but I can't use this as a project management tool. So I am currently playing around with this together with Craft as more of a project management tool. But let's go over some of the things I like. So I like the smart spaces. If I click the apps one, you can see all of the apps I've saved. And this app feature right here with the app cards, just being able to go into the app store and share a link to something to Mymind and get these app cards is really important for my specific use case because uh, I do a lot of reviews, and especially a lot of mid-year, end-of-year reviews and videos like best PKM tools, best second brain tools, and I often forget about applications because I don't have a good system for remembering everything. And just for you to understand, I test out around 100 to 120 applications every year. Some of them I test out regularly, like Craft I did last year, I did this year, but it is around that many applications I have tested out, at least when it comes to during my whole YouTube channel. It's been, I'm pretty sure, around 120. And to have all of them in here as I test them out would be amazing. It would make it so much easier because, for example, Ample Note has been one I've forgotten about lately just because I've been really into object-based note-taking apps and visual note-taking apps like Milanote, Heptabase, Xtiles, to mention a few. So it is really easy to forget about applications, so I really like this. One other thing is that I actually get tags here, so tile-based interface is actually an amazing tag for Xtiles. Project management, task management, collaboration, note-taking, visual workspace, it does such a good job with the tagging, like personal knowledge management, PKM for short, whiteboard mind mapping, knowledge management, visual thinking. Let's do one more. Let's actually do Notion here. So you have workspace, wiki, database, knowledge base, note taking. It does such an amazing job. And to find something later, uh, I can do apps like this, and I can do hashtag knowledge base, for example, and it should show my knowledge base, or hashtag PKM, for example, and it shows me PKM tools. I can search for these things. I can also just click on them in here. So let's do wiki, for example. Only Notion will pop up. But as you add more and more applications here, um, it will become much, much better. And that is one of the most like best use cases for me personally because my whole workflow revolves so much around like my whole productivity revolves so much around different productivity tools because I make content about them. That's what I do. Most of my productivity is tied to that. Also at work because I recommend tools. I find new tools whenever we need. It is really important, and this TLDR also helps a little bit if I ever forget what an application was, which isn't a problem with something like Obsidian, but something like by design, for example, isn't an application I've played around with that much. So that is the first like use case. The other one is the articles. I used Pocket as my read it later application. Pocket will no longer be with us. I before that I used Omnivore, which also is no longer with us. So now I am actually currently using Mymind, and it is great because it gives me this reading view, I think they're calling it. So if my internet wants to start up again. As I was saying, it opens it up in this reader view, which removes everything and gives me like a focused view. I'm paying for the $12.99 plan, so $12.99. I am going to switch over to the yearly one, which is I think it's 129 USD. When or if I decide to like go for Mymind, I will change over to that plan. But here you can see like how easy it would be to read on here. One thing I haven't figured out is like highlighting. Um, I might have to like highlight and then send to Mymind, which feels a little weird, but I think that is the way to go. So whenever you highlight, you get snippets here. That's what they are called. Products is also another feature I really like. So these are things I'm considering buying. So pants here and also this. Uh, I think it's a mobile phone. It is a CMF Nothing Phone Pro 2. So that is things I'm looking at. Color palette I also get. This is my personal color palette, which you often see on the thumbnails of this YouTube video and also on my Medium post. One other thing I really like is that I can like go in here and whenever I have an idea, I can write test, control enter, it will come in here. And let's say I've decided I've come back to this after a week or two, and I can click on this focus mode, and I can actually sit down and write out a blog post, for example, if I ever need to do that. So it can start with something that looks like a post-it note, and I can turn it into something bigger later. The last thing I really like is whenever I have a new design project, it would be amazing to like start off having all of the inspiration already, which I would have if I saved everything whenever I worked on a project or whenever I came across something, especially whenever I came across something without knowing what I or without knowing how I was going to use it. I think that is really important when you work in design to find inspiration without knowing how you're going to use it. I think we often end up like capturing things for our projects, and we have that project focus, which sort of gives us a tunnel vision and doesn't allow us to get inspired from other things. So I really like Mymind for that, and I like the specific same vibe feature, which shows me like everything that has the same vibe. Mine won't be perfect because I think I have under 100 cards here. I just started using this again, but I also like the fact that you get all of these colors here, which I can quickly just click on to copy. That is also something I really like. So that is some of the main features I really like. I, as you can see right here, I just started using this and I haven't imported my notes because Mymind actually doesn't have an import feature. More on that later. But I thought that it was a good opportunity to sort of start fresh. Uh, so I just capture things as I go and I rely on the search to find them later. One other thing that I really like is this books feature right here. So if I click this, you can actually see the page count, the release date, edition, ISBN number. And what I have done is that I have the book right here. And I actually have my notes right here. These are also searchable, so you can search for something that is written in here, for example. So that is how I do book notes in here, and I really like how this looks. Uh, for the books I'm going to read, I have a hashtag to read, while on the books I have read, I don't have that hashtag. But that covers like the features I really like about it and how I use it. The main reason why I really like it is its simplicity. It is so simple to capture things and find them later. Um, but there are, of course, cons with this application as well, just like any other application. If you're looking for uh, something collaborative, this isn't it. And I actually think I like that because I found myself, like, I also use an application like Sublime and I'm going to continue to use it. But I think in my case, it is important to differentiate between like a collective knowledge graph and a private one. Some things I want to stay private, mainly because I don't want to curate for someone else. But if you're looking for something collaborative, this isn't it. You can share one of your cards or notes for 24 hours. But apart from that, there is no good sharing feature. As I mentioned, there is no import, and that is also by design. They might revisit that later, but they want this to sort of be a fresh start, which I have mixed feelings about, but honestly, it's okay, at least right now. Uh, the pricing might also be an issue for some people. The price I'm on with the article backup and the TLDR and the advanced AI is actually quite expensive at $12.99. In my case, it is worth it. I'm happily paying for it. There are other pricing plans as well. There is a bookmarker plan where you don't get all of the fancy AI features. I think that's $5.99. You can also, if you don't want the TLDR, you don't want the advanced AI, there is a cheaper plan as well. I think that is $8.99. All of the prices are in USD, so it might be a little expensive. That is also something that bothers a lot of people. The last thing is that this can't like function as your all-in-one application. It can do to-dos, so you can have to-dos inside of here. I actually have some to-dos inside of Mymind, but I mainly use another application for like task management and project management. So that is some of the cons of this application. Um, there is one last one, and that is getting your notes out. It is possible, but it is only possible in a CSV format. I read that on X that that is something they are looking into and giving you the ability to like export in several different formats, except for CSV, which they already have. So that is also something to just keep in mind, that there isn't uh, a good exporting feature, at least not yet. CSV works, you will still own your notes, but I know that a lot of people prefer Markdown for exporting their notes. But that covers it for today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today's video.